Hey guys, it's 681 Shadow. Welcome to my Bungou Stray Dogs episode 21 review. Now, I do apologize for this being a few days late. I know American Thanksgiving plans have lessened the amount of recording time I have, but I have this going up today along with the Keijo review, which I'm recording. I'm going to record these two in the same session of recording, so they'll be up on the same day, hopefully. If not, Bungou Stray Dogs will definitely be up today, which is Sunday the 27th, and then Keijo will be up tomorrow. That'll happen if I can't get them both up today. But if you guys have not seen this episode yet, and definitely see this episode, for those of you who have seen the episode, you know what you definitely know why. So the link to that will be in the description down below, along with my other playlist to the other Bungo Stray Dogs season 2 reviews and some other cool anime stuff that I have for the channel. So to start off with this episode, we're starting it out with continuing with Atsushi's idea of the Port Mafia agency alliance. So it turns out that Dazai was helping that Fukuzawa to set up a meeting between the Port Mafia and the agency, and to deliver this message to the Port Mafia, who would be the better person than Koyo, who had been in the agency office that entire time. Which is pretty nice. Which is pretty nice for the agency. So they let her go so she can give that message about their secret meeting to Mori. And afterwards, which was really creepy. Not really. Well, it's kind of creepy, but at the same time, it was pretty interesting. We saw a flashback of Mori with the previous Port Mafia boss. So this was 8 years prior to where we are now, and it shows how the previous boss was going through sickness. He had succumbed to illness, and he was giving these very erratic orders, and everything was just like falling apart. So Mori decided to just slit his throat and kill him, and in that previous boss's will, he had written that Mori would take the leadership of the Port Mafia. So basically, Mori killed him so he could take the throne, so to speak. And when he slits the boss's neck, he turns around. He turns like about 90 degrees, and he says you're the witness, and then you see Dazai at the window, which was like, whoa. So Dazai was the only one who physically saw Mori take the other boss's life, and that was a crazy flashback. But then we cut to the actual meeting between the agency and the Port Mafia happening, and of course it's something that should really never happen, because if the gifted part of the government in Japan, if they found out that this meeting was happening, that would be like, they would go like insane about it, because it's these two companies that are basically working against each other. And it turns out that Mori thinks that it is actually impossible to have an alliance unless they completely complied with each other. And Fukuzawa also objects to a full alliance, so he decided to compromise by asking for a ceasefire, which is why Mori was like, that can't happen because we need complete cooperation for this to actually work. So then it escalates. It escalates later to Fukuzawa saying we should settle our accounts right here, right now. And then he pulls out his katana. And then I forgot the orange-haired Port Mafia guy's name in the Black Lizard. So him and then Gin, they go up to try to stop Fukuzawa. Fukuzawa slices the orange-haired guy's gun in half, and then slices Gin's sword into multiple pieces. Goes to attack Mori. Mori flips over him, and then puts a scalpel to his neck. And while he's doing that, Fukuzawa like turns his katana around to put the katana at Mori's neck. And that was absolutely crazy. and it's and we find out from that they knew each other. They definitely knew each other from before the agency and Port Mafia, because when they talked to when the words they said after this were it looked like they definitely knew each other beforehand. They were saying like you still are like this and things like that. Like Fukuzawa said something like, oh, you still have the habit of killing people with a scalpel, Dr. Mori. So I thought that was the crazy scene, but of course not the craziest. But that ends the meeting. It definitely ends the meeting, and then it cuts to Mori talking to Hirotsu, the main guy in the Black Lizard, and he's saying how and they were talking about how despite what Mori had said to the agency, there is still a rational means to getting to an alliance with the agency, and the way he could think of the way to do it was through Double Black. And Double Black, which is also the name of the episode, is the duo of Dazai and Chuuya, who we learned have both who together they had defeated an entire enemy organization overnight, which is absolutely insane because they even though they hate each other, they're like the best duo you could possibly ever have. So that was the alliance. So that was, I think, Mori's first step into making that alliance. And Dazai and Chuuya were both at the same place because the agency was going to recover Q from where Steinbeck and Lovecraft had Q. So then there's these cool scenes with them trying to fight, like Steinbeck trying to use his vines, but Dazai disables him, and then Chuuya kicks him, and he goes through a bunch of trees like Dragon Ball Z type stuff. Like it was absolutely crazy. So then they get through them decently easily for now. So they're able to go into the house, find Q, and then Dazai almost kills Q because first of all probably to piss off Mori because Mori wants Q alive, but also probably because so that the guild can never use Q ever again, and no one can ever die from his curse ever again because his curse is just that powerful. And Chuuya was saying, "Oh, the boss ordered me to take him back alive," but seeing him, I get flashbacks of all the body bags from the Port Mafia people who had been killed by his curse when Fitz unleashed it throughout the entire city. So now Chuuya wants him dead too, but Dazai does not kill him because the decision he makes that decision just because they need Dazai's ability, because if Q is alive, they need Dazai alive as a check to Q, which is pretty crazy. So then it's funny because Chuuya thought he was gonna take the entirety of Q, but no, Chuuya is just taking Q himself, but Dazai's taking the doll, and Dazai's like, "Oh, that's my insurance." I thought that was funny because now Q isn't going to be as useful. But then we see Lovecraft actually using power, and it's like ridiculously hard to defeat Lovecraft. Like as we've seen like we saw his gift against when he was fighting Tanizaki and Kunikida in episode, I believe, 18 or 19. I think it was 19. It was 19. And then now we saw him against Q. How Q was not able to destroy Lovecraft's mind, and then now we have him unleashing his power against Dazai and Chuuya, and Chuuya is able to push Lovecraft to a point where he has to transform into that beast that we saw him transform into against Q, which, if you guys know who H.P. Lovecraft is, the actual author that the character is based on, he was the one who wrote about the monster Cthulhu, which is what his gift is, and from now on we shouldn't not call that a gift because Dazai is not able to disable it. so it is not actually a gift. He can just physically turn into Cthulhu, which is absolutely insane. So that leads to only one other choice that they have, that Chuuya has to use his full power, which is called corruption, where he goes into like into a form where he's like mentally unstable, but he has insane power and he can control the gravity of not just the people he touches, because that's his real gift, just people he touches, but he's able to now control the gravity of nearby gravitations to turn them into like gravity black holes. And for those of you who've seen Mob Psycho 100, um, the character Ishiguro in Mob Psycho 100 had a similar power, and that reminded me of that, which was pretty cool. So, and then it's funny because Steinbeck was actually the reason that they were able to take down Lovecraft, because Steinbeck said there's no way to take him out on the to take out Lovecraft from the outside. So Dazlai was like, oh, we can do it from the inside then. And Dazlai, they had put a bomb inside of Lovecraft, which was inside of him. So when that blew up, Chuuya was able to throw a gravity bomb in there and then end the whole thing. So that is really it for this episode. It was a really insane episode. I really did enjoy watching it. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode in the comment section below. I do enjoy looking at that. Thank you all for watching. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe, and share this video, and I will see you all next time.